Hello, girls. This is so discombobulating. I posted a photo of what I got going here in the Late Night Crafty, or I'm sorry, in the Happy Place Club. So you could see that I have two computer screens, I have like two cameras, and I have all of these sticky notes everywhere to tell me where to click. And I was seeing you girls come on board, and hi Franklin, and I don't know what to do. Like, do I type? Do I talk? So, and now I can see myself here in this screen where it's a delay. So that's even more fun. So, I feel like I need to have like a theme song, you know, like it's the Late Night Crafty Club. So thank you so much for joining me. My very first time live streaming. I can't promise that it will be super entertaining. Hi, Miss Angela. I am, like I said, this is all super new. So I hope that you girls will have grace with me in figuring this out because there's so much going on. I feel like I'm in a newsroom. This just in. So let's see. I kind of made a couple notes of stuff I wanted to kind of chat about tonight, and I wanted this to be kind of informal because, again, a lot going on, and I thought, well, like, what will be the simplest thing I can do? Usually for me, it's cutting, cutting paper. So if you girls and gentlemen would like to join me in the cutting paper, that would be awesome. Or your planners, you know, lay your stickers down, get your plans on for next week. I am getting set up here. I'm going to show you a few things of what I got going on. Getting ready for PlannerCon next weekend. PlannerCon is the official national PlannerCon event. It's happening in San Francisco next weekend. I will be I am blessed to be a keynote speaker. I will be teaching a workshop, and we will have a special pop-up shop there. So we have a lot going on. So I thought, what a great way of like getting over my nerves, and I'll just do my Late Night Crafty Club live. And some of you suggested that would be a good way of kind of like getting prepared for how sick and nervous I'm going to be walking onto a stage to talk to hundreds of people. Tonight's big question was, are you an introvert or an extrovert? And the reason I asked that question is I think from my time in the planner community, I have noticed that there's a pretty strong trend of a lot of introverts being in this community, right? So let's all raise our hands. Hi, Lisa. I'm from Fremont. I see you're from Newark. So let's all raise our hands. All the introverts, because I saw a lot of you answering the question, but I didn't get to like pay attention and focus on what you guys were saying. So yes, the introverts, we are very special. And I am really proud of those of you who are going to PlannerCon by yourself as an introvert, and I'm sure some of you are like really, really nervous and you're already having a touch of social anxiety. And I bet as like the week passes and you get closer to going, you're going to start thinking of reasons why you can't go. Because I do that every single event that I have ever gone to or ever participated in. I don't care if I've accepted dinner at my friend's house. I start getting this really strange, like, kind of anxiety, and I have to coach myself into, like, you can do it, girl. So, yes. Hello, extroverts. You are welcome here, too. It's not just about us. But I have to say, like, I can really only understand my world from an introvert perspective, and so I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to the introverts out there, and I really wanted to kind of touch on that topic tonight because for a lot of us, being in this community is really this really impactful way of connecting with people that we would not ordinarily do because we don't tend to be super social. We tend to gravitate to like very close relationships, very one-on-one type of conversations and interactions, and so we tend to shy away from groups. And not because we're shy people. A lot of introverts are not shy at all. I'm not shy. It's simply that we tend to be people who crave connection, and we crave meaningful connection. Small talk, Oh my gosh. It's so painful for me. I can't stand talking about shallow things. I want to really talk to someone in a meaningful way. So it's my preference. It's not that I can't do small talk. It's that I prefer to connect people more meaningfully. So sorry, I'm getting it's like a squirrel over there in the corner of my eye. I see the little chat box. See, so your sound is very echoey, or is it just you? How many of you guys are having any sound issues? Because sound seems to be our problem tonight. Yes, small talk. Yes, totally agree about the small talk. So there's a little bit of echo. Oh, yay. I'm glad you can comment now, Erica. I hate small talk. Yeah. Oh, yes. And so that's not being shy. That's just kind of like, I know what I like and how I like to interact with people. And so, big social groups are very hard to deal with. So what I do, and I'm sure a lot of you girls do, is I tend to be a wallflower. I like to hug the walls. I kind of sit in the back, along the sides. And honestly, if you were to ask me, I am having as much fun watching other people participate than I would be if I, jumped in and was one of them, And I think extroverts are natural participators. They're the people that when you go to the comedy club and goes, can I have a volunteer? The extroverts are the first ones to get their hands up. Where all the introverts are like, oh gosh, please don't pick me. Right? I mean, so many of us are like, please don't pick me. Please don't pay attention to me. Please don't notice me. I just want to be, sorry, squirrel again. But I notice that I see a lot of you talking about the sound issues. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to yell for my husband to come rescue me. Because I have no idea how to fix the sound issues. And this is our first time doing live. And so we already obviously had sound issues with the music. That cool, funky, jazz piano wasn't playing.
No, it's because we can't use the lapel mic. There's no echo. It's the sound. It's what it would sound like.
Apparently, that's just my craft room. I have a lot of walls. The sound is kind of reverberating. And you guys are used to me wearing... Where is that little guy?
The lapel mic?
Yeah. You guys are used to hearing me with a little lapel mic. Usually I have it snipped to my little collar here and I'm talking right into it. So I'm pre-recorded. This little guy. This is my little friend. So you have been spoiled by the amazing quality of the lapel mic. And we pre-record the video, so when you get to hear it, I sound amazing. And now you're just hearing me in everyday life. So I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry I sound echoey. But hey, we'll continue. The Late Night Crafty Club is a club of imperfection, right? And I'm a recovering perfectionist. So I'm just I have to roll. My time in the Planner community has taught me a lot about rolling with things. Getting up and agreeing to do some of the talks that I've done and stuff. There's always stuff that goes wrong at the last minute. And I am just... I've just found a way you just roll with it. So let's all embrace imperfection. Let's all embrace bad audio. Perhaps one of these days we can figure out how to make it a little nicer. But that's right, Erica. If the Oscars can't be perfect, then how could we expect the Reset Girls craft room to be perfect? So it is really hard to not keep looking down at that chat room, girls. Hi Maggie. I want to say thank you. Hi Miss Cobra. Hi Darlene. Hi Karen. I want you to say hello to all of you. But I got to keep the show going. So, like I said, this was going to be an exercise in how much focus I could do while there's so much going on. And one of the reasons why I was reluctant to do live, because then I felt like I really couldn't interact with you because I'm so busy talking to you that now you guys are having a whole fun little club going on over there without me. So anyway, where was I? So we were talking about, what was I talking about? That was 5 minutes ago. I got totally off the thing. Oh, participation, being an introvert, being about hugging the walls. That's what we're like. And often people think that we're being indifferent, rude, we're not interested, we're being shy, we're being standoffish. What's wrong? Oh my gosh. Introverts, if you've had $1 for every time you've ever been asked what's wrong, just because the look on your face, I would be rich. So, yes. I know, right? It is like Romper Room. I see Cobra. I see Corey. I remember that. You have to be a Gen Xer to remember Romper Room and the Magic Mirror. Anyway, again, digressing. There is a level of introverts kind of separating themselves from being participants and being wallflowers. And, when I look over the course of my life, I am a very skilled wallflower. And to be honest, I enjoy it. I love watching people enjoy what they're doing and gathering. I'm like that at family gatherings. I generally don't even, like in my own family, large family. I come from a Hawaiian family. They're very loud and gregarious, and like we went and saw that movie Moana, and I feel like that's what my family, I have a lot of people that look like that in my family. They're just very gregarious and musical people. My family will sit up for hours singing together, and I'm like in the back corner watching everybody from a distance. So even in my own family, I'm like that, and it's sometimes I'm just so hard on myself, like why do I have to be like that? But here's the thing, when I discovered what being an introvert really was, and I'm not weird, I'm an introvert. And we come with this amazing skill set and set of strengths, really. And when you really look at what introverts done, they have accomplished so much. They are the reasons why we have so much beautiful art, why we have so many professors and counselors, artists and writers. We just do our best work up here. But being up here can also be kind of a curse. So, yes, Moana was awesome. Mr. Crafty has the Moana, on YouTube. He has, the little playlist he created for himself. It literally was on, 3 hours today, over and over. I think he's got maybe 4 songs on that playlist. And now I hear it in my head constantly. So, anyway, yes, Miss Amy Jane, an introvert who does PR. Sometimes introverts are awesome doing for others. We're like the behind the scenes people making other people look amazing. And honestly, that is really what I thought my role in life was going to be. I was going to be a counselor, and when I got married, I would be like my husband's cheerleader, and I would help him achieve great things. And then, what kind of happened, it didn't work out the way I thought. And instead of me being the support person, God has kind of hooked me up with Mr. Crafty, who is like the most amazing support person ever. And for someone who's always loved being in the back of the room, along the side of the wall, God has sort of created this platform in which he has continually said, yes, daughter, move forward in this path. Come out of the shadows, be in the light. And I'm not doing that for me. You're doing that to inspire others, because I can tell you right now, from the bottom of my heart, introverts are some of the most hardest people on themselves and punish themselves for why they're so weird. And you can spend your whole lifetime doing that to yourself. And so you do in general, I'm not saying everyone's like this, but you do in general sort of kind of sit on the sidelines in life, sometimes within your own life. And I was a sideline sitter for most of my own life. I feel like when I made the decision to jump onto Instagram, 2.5 years ago at this point, I could not have predicted this. I could not have predicted where this took me. But here I am, and one of the things that matters more to me than my own comfort or my own being conscious is I care more about other people than I do about my own little safety zone. I want so much to take some of the hard things that I went through, and some of it by my own design, my own fault, and to inspire, encourage others to get out there too. And I feel like, we introverts are some of our own worst enemies. We do it to ourselves, and I really wanted us to really think about that. A lot of you seem very in touch with your introvertedness. being an introvert was kind of new information to me. I think I kind of had that epiphany when I was like 38. So it's a whole long time to not realize something so impactful, and it made a huge difference when I did. Huge difference. Like relief. There's a reason why I am the way I am, and there's ways that I can work around some of the kind of like quirky things about me. And you know, it's funny and I've gotten the opportunity to go out there and go and teach at workshops and get to meet ladies, and it is the greatest blessing in the world. And I can't believe people are surprised to hear me say it, but I can extrovert like nobody's business in the moment. I really can. It's really amazing. I can channel it all, and so thank goodness that I can. And I was noticing in the friends, hi Veronica, that some of you were saying the same thing, that I think I saw the word ambivert, which I think is the same thing where you can kind of switch back. I have a little super pack of extrovert power, and I tap into that for like an event situation, and then I will be good. After that, I will not have any kind of human contact for weeks on end. I will not leave my house or anything else. I am like back to introvert world, which is, you know, my comfort zone, which is my home. And that's pretty much like my husband. So we're kind of both like that. We are just content to be home. So what better way to try to be more adventurous than to take our home with us, which is why we decided let's get an RV and live in it full time. And then Corey, you can go out and touch lives and interact with the people you love, and then we'll have our home with us, our safety zone, our comfort zone. So yes, that has been one of the big motivators for choosing to try the RV life. So that RV is parked down in our driveway right now. It is huge. I did film a walkthrough, like we filmed everything, and then as soon as that camera shut off, like Mr. Crafty started ripping it all apart, ripping all the furniture out of it. So we haven't got a chance to upload it yet, but it will be coming soon. We've just we've gotten into like PlannerCon mode as soon as we got back. So we're working on next month's kit, which will be debuting soon, and I am dying to show you guys. I have a little sneak peek because I never thought I could top Adored, how much I loved Adored, but we have a kit that is just glorious. So so there's kits going on. We're getting ready for PlannerCon. I'm teaching and speaking, so I've got like 2 different things to be all scared about. But I'll tell you what, I knew this PlannerCon was happening. I was asked to speak more than a year and a half ago. I kept going, oh yeah, it's so far out there, it's so far away, I don't have to worry about it today, and now the day has come. So here we are. Fortunately, I have now spoken and taught at enough events that I feel more confident. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to feel like to stand in front of that many people. I've never done it in my life. That level, that you know, magnitude. But we'll see. I'm doing this for you girls, you introverts out there. I'm doing this for you. And I wanted to show you something because I was making myself some new dividers today. I was trying like my digital skills. I found this quote. Okay, hang on. I'm going to show you my super tech skills right now. Okay, so I have this button I can push to show you. Yes. Okay. So here's one of the dividers that I made today, and this is one of my like most favorite quotes ever. Her name is Catherine Center. You have to be brave with your life so others can be brave with theirs. Isn't that awesome? When I saw this quote, I really took that seriously, and I take this seriously. And if God has blessed me with a platform and wonderful, awesome people in my life here in social media world, I want to be an example to the introverts out there who say they can't do it, they're not brave enough, they're scared, I'm not good enough, I'm this, I'm that. We make up a cajillion excuses why we can't do things. And so, yay! Thank you. Mr. Crafty just brought me popcorn. See? Not that I can eat it, but I can sit here and smell it and torture myself. Thanks, honey. So anyway, I am going to be more than likely offering. I've been having so much fun putting stuff together for our digital print shop, which is also something else that's debuting. So we have another little project on our hands, but I put that together, and I just wanted it to be something that's like for the introverts out there, like this is what it's about. We kind of have to like force ourselves a little harder to get out there and do what we need to do. And that's right, Veronica. I totally agree with you, girl. When I think about all of the sad, lonely years, the sad years, dealing with so much depression, dealing with so much loneliness, and just like hating my life, I think about that now and go, I totally get what it feels like to be alone, to feel like what is the point of me being here kind of feeling. And I can't believe that I would say that I'm grateful now because I am, and I'm grateful that I went through that because it's much harder to feel like you can relate to someone when they're living this glorious life and always have. And I really didn't. If you guys saw my life, even 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was a sad life to me. And I could have done more with my life. I could have been braver and took chances and did things, but I was a person that convinced myself, no, you can't. You cannot do brave things. So this is for us, ladies. And when I get up there, as God is my witness, when I get up on that stage, I'm letting you know now. Okay, hang on. I want you to look into my little eyeballs. As God is my witness, when I get up on that stage, I'm doing it for us introverts. That I'm going to do like the scariest thing possible other than jumping out of the plane that I did before, because I want to be a testimony to those people who keep telling themselves, no, you can't. I am terrified of doing this. I can't even tell you. I know I make it seem all super easy, but I'm in my room in my jammies. You guys are to not see the complete mess around me or all the chaos my life is. For the last 3 months has been like crazy. When is the last time you guys saw me like post a planner post? Because I don't even have time to put anything in my planner. So I want to embrace the messy. I want to embrace like it is chaos, and it's even though it might look like everything is wonderful, it isn't. It isn't for you. It isn't for me. We are imperfect people, and so I just want us to remember that even if I know how to post a pretty picture, doesn't mean it's all pretty behind the scenes. And that's important to me. I don't care where I go and what I get to do. I am just like you guys. I am no different, no more special or different than you guys. And so that's what this is for. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for us. So I just wanted to say that, and now I can kind of like look over. What are you guys saying? My planner is just filled with sticky notes. Yes, Darlene, I know. I'm the same way. I just will put sticky notes on paper when that's all I can do. Okay, I don't know which way to look. You guys should see this. My hair is a hot mess too. I just noticed that. I even curled it earlier, and it's like all wonk. But it is what it is. I'm sure all of you guys have got your sweatpants on, your jammies on, your hair's up in a messy bun, right? So I actually should just put it up in a messy bun. Hi, Miss Siobhan. Hello, Miss Esther. Hello, Claudine. Oh, are you taking that?
You already have one,
Okay.
That's on the edge by the computer.
Okay. All right. So the next thing I wanted to show you guys before we get going on what I really wanted to talk about was I wanted to show you guys. This is a sneak peek. This is my little, what do you call it? This is like my proof that Mr. Crafty makes for me. This is the new kit. Stickers. These are glossy. I asked him to print them on glossy for me. So our next kit is called Faith. And it is all about having faith in yourself, faith in your life, faith in your journey, faith in your abilities. And if faith means something spiritual to you, yay. But this is all about having just the idea of having faith. It is, to me, it's one of the most powerful weapons that we have. And having faith in yourself and what you can do when you think back over the course of your life and all the things you thought you couldn't do, but you pushed yourself a little harder each time, especially as we get older, right? As we get older, I think sometimes we're a little bit braver because we're wiser. Wisdom is a wonderful, wonderful blessing. As you get older, you gain more of it. And I wouldn't trade wisdom for youth at all because it is awesome. It's awesome to be able to put things in perspective. I mean, come on, girls. When you and gentlemen, I'm sorry, I forget. I've got men in the house. Usually it's just the ladies, so everybody is included in this conversation. When you think back on your life and you think about when you were like your 20s, I think that you focused on things you look at now, you go, wow, I can't believe I made a big deal about this or that, right? Because wisdom gives you that perspective. And so I really wanted to have a kit that was really kind of celebrating the idea of faith. And some of us have some serious challenges right now. Some of us are going through grief. Some of us are going through job loss, divorce. Some of us have just lost something. And it just breaks my heart. And you wish that we didn't go through those hard things, but there's a reason why we face challenges, and they strengthen our character. So when I put this together, I was like imbuing it with all of my love for you guys, and just like, if I can't be there to be a cheerleader and encourage you, I know it sounds silly. But honestly, I think about every the little words I put on here is I just want these to be like little cheerleaders for you on your planner page, in your journal. When you peel that little sticker and put it, if nothing else, if no one else, being an introvert, you don't see anybody else telling you that you're awesome and you can do it, I at least want to be there on the pages of your planner saying yes you can. And and I'll say that to you regardless if you buy a sticker or not, because that's really, I absolutely believe that. But anyway, that was my little sneak peek that I couldn't resist showing you. I'm just, every little piece that I see getting produced, I'm like just dying to show you guys more. And yes, are we going to see some male planner honeys? Well, Marion, I would say, there actually is some male planner honeys in the sticker book that we released, the Planner Girl sticker book. There is actually a page of honeys in their pajamas, and I think there is 2 planner hunks on there that are wearing, I'm not sure if they're wearing pajamas or maybe they're just wearing jackets, but there are 2 planner hunks in there. I personally put them in there myself. They're harder to come by, and I kind of go back and forth because should I do a little collection of planner guys? I don't know. I'm not sure if women would want to put them in their planner or not. Oftentimes they're have pipes and slippers. So 1950s. So, hey Claudia, you can say hey to your kid. Say yes, we text, we talk all the time. So the other thing I wanted to show you guys is I made these for the Faithful Girl Planner Workshop I am teaching next weekend, is these fun little scripture cards. Now these are specific to the kit that I'm making for the workshop, because anyone who comes to one of my workshops, I want them to feel special. I want them to have something so unique that they walk away with this is this thing that I got when I saw the Reset Girl and went to one of her classes, because I cherish things from special events, and I just want people to walk away with that little memory of this is what I did. However, having said that, I also am going to produce a whole line of these that will be in my digital shop, and what I would love to do, honestly, is start a subscription for scripture cards, because that really has been the product and the dream I've had for probably 9 years. In 2008, I wrote that down, that I wanted to start a line of scripture cards, and it's funny to me that somehow I managed to whip out stickers, planners, inserts, everything but the one thing I said I was going to do. So anyway, these are the lovely girls, and I showed them today on my Instagram. I picked some of my favorite scriptures. This is one of them, and I've been staring at this one a lot because of what I am just kind of a little bundle of nerves lately. And then this one, Esther 4:14. That's a very classic scripture a lot of us cling to. Another favorite scripture of mine. Sometimes when you take scripture out of the Bible and just sort of, just a few lines of it, it can feel so powerful, and you're just like, I've never seen that scripture. All of a sudden it just pops out, right? Isn't that weird how that happens? Like, I could see this and go, where's that from? And I wouldn't even recognize it. You know, it would just be, it would feel so unique. And it's like, I feel like sometimes that's how the Holy Spirit sort of shines the word. This one right here is my life scripture, for sure. And I have a very awesome story to share this with you girls who are going to be attending my class. And then this one, which, oh my gosh, I thought this was so pretty. I was so excited to find this really cool stone, which is going to be part of the Faith collection. Is going to be beautiful gems. And yay! I'm so glad you guys are excited about that. Oh, that's so cool, Ellie. You're naming your faith planner after Queen Esther. Have you people seen One Night with the King? The faith girls out there. That is one of the most awesome movies I've ever seen about Esther, and I just thought it was such a cool movie. I owned it for a long time, and I think when I did some destashing, I think I accidentally tossed it out. So anyway, if you have not seen One Night with the King, I would highly recommend it. Okay, so we're moving on, because I have not even started getting crafty, and it's 8:30. I don't even know what time is it. How long have I been talking? So let's see. Yes, love that movie. Thank you. My son's name is Isaiah. Love that name too. Isaiah is probably my favorite book in the Bible. You know what, Brenda? I'm not sure if it's on Netflix. I want to say no, it's not. I think I've only had it on DVD, and it came from, I think, like Walmart is actually where I got it from. And Miss Ellie, that is an excellent question. I have been invited to San Diego twice. Now, I think they were from two different stores. I actually lived in San Diego a big portion of my life. That's where I grew up as a kid, which I've probably said a gajillion times. You guys are probably sick of hearing it. Yes, I think it's a DVD. Only I've not ever seen it on. I'm sipping some water here. Sorry, you guys are just staring at my my tabletop. I'm transfixed watching the chat room. Sorry. So because we're having this RV, my dream is to get out there across the country and start teaching my faithful girl planner workshop across the country. So my dream is to be able to teach that in churches, much the same way that Shauna has, started off Illustrated Faith, teaching it at churches. That's my dream. I want to get in there to different women's ministries and kind of get my foot in the door and be like, hey, I can come to your church and teach the faithful girl planner class. Those of you who've taken my class those of you who've taken my class have generally gotten the short version, because if it were up to me, I would teach it probably like a 5 to 6 hour class, because I just think that it's not just about, let me just teach you what to do real fast. I also want people to be able to visit with each other and be able to, what's that word? This is the introvert trying to remember the word that we use about it's fellowship. That just shows you what I am lacking in my life is fellowship. Miss Ruby, the RV, we are kind of at a standstill right now because we are just really focused on getting ready for PlannerCon next weekend. We've started, like I said, Mr. Crafty ripped out whole portions of it. A lot of the furniture has come out. We want to have it painted, but we realize that we're in such a time crunch that we don't think we can paint it. So we are in this process of getting quotes from painters, and most people are like, paint an RV? Why would you do that? So it'll be interesting to see if we can find someone will come out here and paint it. Mr. Crafty and I might end up having to paint it anyway, so we'll see. So RV fellowship is the best. Yes, it will be. I can't wait. Yes, and you know what? North Dakota, South Dakota, all the way along the top of the country, all the way across, that's a dream visit for me. I want to hit all the states. I know for a fact that one state I'm really focused on getting into, and I feel like I've gotten at least 4 possible opportunities set up there, is Texas. So it's just a matter of, am I willing to brave Texas in the heat, or will I chicken out and go, I need to do this in the fall. So I need to figure all that out when PlannerCon is over. It's hard for me to focus on future things when I have like something staring at me right in the face right now. You know, designer. I want to go back to the Kansas area, Kansas, Missouri area. That would be awesome. There's a fairly large planner girl community there, a lot of faith girls there. But I also have the crafty girl, I gave all these names to my workshops and now I can't remember them very well. The crafty girl planner workshop. So that's another one I wanted to show how I have my team of planners and how I keep them all unique and separate, and then my master planner. So it's going to be like a kind of a big master class. So yes, and yes. All of them, girls. I want to come to all of them. So I'm going to show you here. These are the little buttons that we have been putting together. How many of you guys have ever wanted a button maker? I've wanted a button maker since I was like in junior high. In the back of 17 magazine used to advertise like that badge a minute badge maker. So I got a fancy one and I've been making these little badges, and so what I wanted to do is its interior painting is for the RV. I just saw that question. So sorry. I knew this was going to be hard because I would like notice what's going on. What are you guys talking about? Oh, I just told everybody that you can watch in higher quality. Thanks, Mr. Crafty. So for those of you who are saying it's blurry, there's a higher quality setting. That little gear next to my picture, underneath my name, it says Reset Girl. Under there, it says Channel Settings. If you click that little button, you should be able to pick a higher resolution. Oh, hi. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this is my button maker. Hopefully you can see that. Yay. So I've been making buttons. Now, I wanted to share the reason why I did this. Being an introvert, I know this is really funny. I have gone to a few events that were like blogging events, and I actually recognized a few women bloggers that I'd probably followed maybe like 8-10 years ago, and followed them for years, read their blogs, watched them get pregnant, have babies. I've like seen very, big portions of their lives. And I'm at the event, and there they walked right past me, and I was too shy, I felt too weird going up to them and be like, hi, I know all about your life. I've been reading about you. I felt so silly that I was too, I don't know, I hate the word shy, but like, I don't know why I couldn't do it. I just couldn't go make myself do it. And I thought about that because I've gotten messages from other women who say, I was there at the event, but I was too shy to come up to you. And I don't want people to feel that way. I am not a celebrity. I am not famous. I'm just like you. I'm a planner girl who posts pictures, and I love planners just like you do. I want to meet you. I want to hug you. I want to thank you for helping me have the life that I have. And so I made these as bait. I thought, I'm going to make a challenge. If you come up and talk to me or you come up to the booth, I will personally give you a button. And you'll be able to walk around with it, my special button that I got because I went and said hi. Now, some of you are like, oh, yes, I want to say hi. But there's some of you who this will be intimidating because as introverts, we somehow make it weird. We make it weird. So I don't want anyone to feel that way about me ever. I don't ever want to be, I'm not famous, girls. I'm not. I'm just like you. And so I just want to give you a special little button that I made for you. We're all taking turns. My daughter's been helping me make them. Me and Mr. Crafty are making them. They're literally made with love. So that's why I made them. I just wanted people to have like a special memento of a moment with me. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to come say hi to me, to come, I'm going to have a photo booth there, and I have all these fun props, and my photo backdrop has got the planner hoodies in them. It's going to be awesome. So I want you to come. If you're coming to PlannerCon, please come. Take pictures. I'll have a photo booth. I'm going to have a whole little schedule just to say, like, this is what's going on in our booth. And I'm going to have designated times where I will stand in my booth. And if you want to come take a picture with me, I would be honored to be in your picture. I would love to take a picture with you because that is too cool. So I have a cool background of planner honeys to take pictures with. So more bait. Come to my booth. So anyway, I just like making connections with people, and I just, I don't do this because I enjoy selling products and stuff. That's like just paying bills. I do this because I just want to connect with you. I wish I could sit in the chat room and be like with you guys. That's what this is about. I'm trying to connect. I want to, like, how can I inspire them to do something else? I see your comments. I see your posts. I can't respond the way I wish I could, and I always feel terrible about that. But I'm always thinking of, like, what can I do to inspire others? I see there's some struggles out there. I see things that people are going through. What little things can I do? I have the power to do. You know what I mean? So long story short, I've tried to put a lot of like little fun things together for my booth because this is a cool, fun thing, PlannerCon, a national event. And there's some vendors that are coming from, I cannot remember the country, but I'm going to say it wrong. And I'm going to say the planner name wrong too. It's Gilio. As you can see, I don't own one, so I'm saying it all wrong. Yay! I'm so glad, Jenny. I love the Carpe Diem planners. Yes, I agree, Andrea, but I understand. I know you're not going to go. And Susanna and Andrea, are you kidding me? You guys, the dynamic duo, you guys should totally go. But I understand people have a lot of different things going on at home, and I get it. But, this is kind of like history making for our community to have events like this. This is like a big deal, and it's going to be huge. They're planning on like 1,000 people attending, and there's going to be a whole vendor section. There's lots of really awesome sponsors that have provided, stuff. And then you have shops like mine that show up. We have special products just for PlannerCon. And you're going to have Miss Amy Tangerine's going to be there to speak and teach. Erin Condren's going to be there to speak. I am speaking. And you're going to have some amazing content workshops going on, like legit planning workshops. Not just like, put a sticker here, put washi here, but like legit planning, get stuff done. So it's going to be cool, and it's really awesome to think that all of us just kind of like glom together from something like YouTube and Instagram and Facebook sort of kind of congealed this community together, which doesn't really exist in real life until we show up at something, right? Because otherwise we're all just connected by social media. So if you are on the fence and you've been kind of hemming and hawing about it, I just want you to consider those things. Okay, so I need to get this out of the way. And, all right, I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover in the, the chit-chat stuff. And now I wanted to move on to the actual content of tonight's Crafty Club. So what are you guys up to? Are we doing... Yes, Michelle, I agree. PlannerCon is better than jury duty. On anyone's meter. I know, and I wish that all of you could go. I really do. It would be so fun if all of us could be there. And my dream, honestly, in the back of my mind, I'm like, one day I want to do the Late Night Crafty Club as like a thing that I do, going from place to place and hosting a Late Night Crafty Club for ladies in the area, wherever I go. And like, how can I make that happen? So I've kind of put that on my vision board, is like, how fun would that be to do that? And then we could like live stream it, like we're all here in our jammies. So why do you live in Chicago? You guys, actually in Chicago, there's the Midwest Planner group. That's a fairly large group from what I understand. I was surprised when I got to teach that workshop in Wisconsin, which was a Midwest event. And I taught the Faithful Girl Planner Workshop. There was a ton of girls that came from like the Midwest. There's a lot of states that girls are willing to come from. It's a very large area. So Chicago actually does have a pretty thriving area. And I think, Blitzy is actually going to be at PlannerCon. They are a Chicago company. So what am I doing? I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit. I wanted to touch on the topic that I'm going to speak on at PlannerCon because I just wanted to, I just want to talk about it out loud with you and hopefully something I say inspires you. Because I always want to try to be inspiring in the Late Night Crafty Club. I don't want it to just be about idle chit-chat. Crafty chit-chat, yes. But I wanted to talk to you about a few things that I thought, since you can't be there, I wanted to share with you that are on my heart. And I'm going to go ahead and trim up my dividers. My plan with these is I was kind of thinking what I would love to do, and I don't know if I will get them done, but I will try. I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun to make some dividers that I can give away at the event? And I will probably give one away in my workshop and then give one away at the booth, but I wanted to like hand make some dividers. So I actually digitally made these. I sat there for like hours putting all the little elements together, printing them out. So I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to probably back them with some scrap paper, and then and that way I can kind of talk and cut at the same time. So okay, no procrastination. Get out of here. Go do your Girl Scout booth cookie stuff, because yes. So what to arrange the workshop at PlannerCon? Miss Cat, I am going to send a email out to everyone who signs up for the event at PlannerCon. I'm going to send you an email out like, here's your list of supplies. I am going to offer a kit for sale. There'll be 2 types of kits. I'm going to offer the Planner Stylist kits, which I've never put in my store yet. They have not launched yet. But they will be available, and I will have this amazing little faith kit available that you can purchase. It is not required. It is just for fun. But you will get an email with that information and a place to order it, and then you can... you'll know what to bring. It's only 90 minutes, so this is like, I'll probably be talking a mile a minute. I have taught this class. It's normally a 4-hour class. I've taught it in 2 hours, but that was really, so this is going to be interesting to see how much I can like crank out in 90 minutes. So it's more, I'm calling it a mini class. So it'll be kind of like a little touch on this, a little touch on that, because it's just, that would be really, I don't want to take away from the meaning of it because it's such a meaningful workshop to me. So I'm going to get started with my cutting. And I don't know, there are crafting. I'm so curious because I know we ask in the beginning. I always try to throw out a couple fun questions, but when you guys come to the Late Night Crafty room, I know a lot of you are in the chat room, so you're typing, and I am too, so I don't craft while I watch it. I'm more like involved in the chat room. So I'm just curious, do some of you just kind of like let it run and let it play? So this is, yes, I'm asking you to stop what you're doing and, and respond in the comments. So do you like let it go and you're just sort of listening? And because I like to have things in the background too. I like to put on people that have, that talk a certain way or kind of like lengthy videos. And that way I can just kind of hear while I'm doing something. And a lot of you tell me that. A lot of you are like, yes, I just put you on in the background, which is totally awesome. Thank you for putting me on at all. But I would be curious. Yes, Marlon, I am going to be offering the Faithful Girl Planner Workshop online. It was my intention to launch it in February. I made a whole plan about how I was launching it. And then we decided, let's buy an RV. And then let's buy an RV that's across the country. So, so I had to put a pen in that, but it is definitely something I will be doing, and then I plan on teaching it live in person. And of course, live events and online events feel very different. So the online event will probably have lots of content and printables you can print down. I have all kinds of like ideas of what I was going to do. And so there's stuff that's like really awesome about an online workshop, and I have signed up for a cajillion of them. So it depends. If I come to your area, I would love for you to come to one of my workshops. So as I get going, I have the resetgirl.com. I don't know how many of you have ever gone to, good, Nikki, do your homework. Even though it's Friday night, you should be doing your homework, yes. And awesome, Jennifer. Thank you, Claudine. See, that's kind of like the stuff I do. Like if I were doing a chat room thing, I'd probably like want to interact, and then I would like actually pay attention to what I was saying later. It is a little kind of distracting back and forth. So Miss Mandy takes notes. If you saw on my blog, theresetgirl.com, I actually have a Late Night Crafty Club section in there. If you click on it, there's a whole little swag collection of goodies. And I made you guys little A5 size note sheets to take notes. Sometimes I do share valuable information. And I do put links in my comments below the video that we'll upload later. But there is note paper in there. There's like stickers that you can print and cut out on your own. So I have been working diligently on getting the resetgirl.com, like getting different things in there. And I have a library of resources, and we're going to have a digital print shop that is coming soon. We have been working on that behind the scenes too. So if you've not been to my blog, I would, ask for you to go visit sometime. But there's a whole little Late Night Crafty Club section in there. If you have not ever printed out the little printables, they are in there. I have to admit, like the last 2 months have kind of just been big distractions, and I have not been like blogging the way I'd planned. I really wanted to share some like meaningful content. I wanted to kind of share some of the things I've gotten to do so far. But yes, that has not happened. I filmed all kinds of film stuff when we got the RV. I filmed all across America. I was thinking, I'll just upload these every day to our vlog. And that did not happen because it was much harder to do than I thought. So for being a planner girl who has lots of plans, I just don't seem to get them executed as much as I want. So I'm hoping that once we get into our RV, things will finally smooth out. You know what I mean? And it won't be this chaos that we've had for so long. Things will be smooth, and then I'll have more time to be like thoughtfully doing videos. I miss filming videos. I do. I don't want to just film an unboxing video for the kit. I want to like do fun things. I want to do like meaningful things. I will be filming my destashing and my decluttering and my packing because I would like to have record of how that's going down. And be able to show you, how does someone who has like crazy amounts of supplies, how do you start getting rid of it? And how do you make the decisions to keep what you keep? I have to because I don't have real estate, so I'm forced to. So it'll be interesting to see who makes the cut. Okay. Thank you. I'm excited for the RV too. I can't wait. We talk about it all the time. It's going to be so exciting to be able to still do what I do, but just do it from an RV, I can't wait to take planner, to stage all my planning photography, in outdoor locations and stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. I have all kinds of ideas. And, some of those RV parks, there's a lot of, people my parents' age, baby boomers. Wouldn't it be great to just try to indoctrinate some of those baby boomers into planner girls? They got time on their hands. They can. So maybe I'll figure out a way to start teaching them in RV parks. Teach my little workshops. That'd be funny. I shared that with my mother. She thought that was amusing. So I don't know. They might be like, who cares? You might not be interested at all. So paper. I love the gold scissors. For those who have the gold scissors, they listening, watching, and typing. The gold scissors are amazing. Is that a dinosaur in the background? Yes, Ricky, it is. It's a T-Rex. Target offered this really adorable collection for kids. I forget the line. Circo? It's that line. It's the Oh Joy line. I think that little line she's connected with. I could have sworn that. I could be wrong. And those of you who've got kids and that you bought yourself some of this stuff, it is a dinosaur lamp. And it is a little inside joke between me and Mr. Crafty. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh, that would be so cute in my craft room. Okay, so I'm cutting. So you know what? That'd probably be, actually, hang on. Watch this. Look, I'm a little film inside of another. I have 2 windows open. Okay, so he set up this screen now. So now I have a window. I have a camera above, and my camera below. Are you putting any of your downsized items for sale online? Yes, Celia, I am. I am going to create a little de-stash little store. And because I have some really awesome things, planners, a planner bag. I bought stuff that I intended to do as giveaways, and then I just never did them. And so now I've got all this great stuff I bought. I have a very, very hard to find Kate Spade planner. I have a coral one. And I paid a lot for it because I really wanted it, but it was still less money than some of the Kate Spades I've seen, but it's a coral personal Kate Spade planner, a zip around. So I definitely wanted to sell that. I just look at it as I just kind of want to get my money back on things. I'm not trying to make money. I just know that there's a lot of Kate Spade fans out there and that would love to add stuff like that to their collection. They've been cranking out planners a lot more lately, but I know picture in picture is so cool. It makes me feel so fancy when I have that going on. Okay, so there's another one. You were my hiding place and my shield. I hope in your word. So I took some of the scriptures that I used from my scripture card and I put them on these dividers. Yeah, I wish, Corey, if I could remember sign language. So for those who don't know, when I went to college the first time, my daughter was like 2-3 years old when we went off to college. I went back to San Diego to go to a community college there because they had this amazing sign language program, and I really wanted to get a degree in sign language interpreting. So I spent 3.5 years working on that and graduated with my associate's degree. And me and my husband were just testing, like, what vocabulary do I even remember in sign language? And I could hardly remember anything. It was so sad. I can't believe how hard I worked for that degree, how many hours of my life I put into signing and in that whole interpreting life. And then now I'm like, I can barely sign my way out of a paper bag. And Valerie, good for you. I am really glad you just worked on your vision boards. So yes, Jenny, the gold scissors are amazing. What am I working on tonight? I am working on my little dividers for my class next weekend. I wanted to show, wow, the camera's like, keeps popping up. It keeps trying to focus because yes, ASL was an option. So when I went to Arizona State University, they counted all of those language classes towards they like gave me a whole bunch of credits towards taking all those classes. So that was awesome. And I got my bachelor's degree from ASU. Miss Erica, you're good at ASL. I wish I was. I never felt confident. Another thing I feel like I sabotaged myself about was that I never felt like I really knew what I was doing, and I think that I let that get to me, and I just kind of shied away from it. When I finished school in San Diego, I briefly went home to the Bay Area. And I was there maybe 6 months, and I got offered a job in Washington State to be an interpreter. And I took it, and when I got here, the job fell through. The person who offered me the job apparently didn't have the power to offer me the job. So I moved here with my little kid, and we are in this apartment that, and we move in right before, 2 days before Christmas, and I had no job. So I went and I tried to be like, an interpreting substitute, and I went to some of the elementary schools that they assigned me to, and these little kids would stare up at me waiting for me to start signing, and I just felt such panic. Oh my gosh, they're depending on me, and I just choked. I couldn't do it. I just was like, oh, I'm terrible, I can't do it. They need someone that can feel confident and sign their way, and they're like, so they know what's going on, and that pressure was too much, so I quit. And I went back to work in the office, the very thing I was trying to get away from. So that's how I ended up in Washington State that one time. And I lived here for 7 years. And finally, I left in a blaze of glory. I left and went back to California. And then 14 years later, God says, ha-ha, I'm gonna find a way to get you back there. So I come back, and sure enough, everything worked out the second time, because I feel like he was sort of leading things instead of me. So, okay, I'm checking in on the chat room. Okay. Cutting paper. Ah, so delicious. It's so relaxing. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple topics that I'm going to cover in my speech. And sorry, I got way off track from what I intended to talk to you guys about. So being brave, introverts, we need to be brave. And I know when I look back in just the course of like the last couple of years, my life does not look at all the way it used to. At all, ever. Like I would never have imagined ever that I would be here. So what I would say is that when life offers you opportunities to do things that are scary, that are out of your comfort zone, that doesn't sound like something I would want to do. I really want you to put a pin in it before you turn it down. And I want you to really consider why you're saying no to something. Is it because you're just scared? Because that's just like your little voice, that little voice that, I don't know why we have that voice that tells us that we want to fail. I'm not sure where a lot of us get that from. But a lot of us have it. Why aren't we born with like the voice of the cheerleader? Like, yes, you can. And maybe some people have that, and maybe that's why they just are more naturally successful at life, where some of others of us have to work really hard after a lot of failure to get there. You know, a lot of, what do you call that when you self-sabotage? So sabotaging is one of the things that some of us do best. And I know that I was a sabotager. So when being part of this community began providing opportunities to me that I would ordinarily have said, no way, Jose, I realized that there was more to than just it. There was more to this than just like, here's some pretty planners. This was the opportunity that I have always felt like this longing in my heart to help people. You know, some of us are just born with this longing for something. Where I'm one of those people where I want to be in a job or, you know, in a career path that is like meaningful, that's helpful. I don't even care. Like, money is not the motivator. So generally, people like me in INFP tend to go towards degrees and career paths that are not well paying, you know, because you're more about satisfaction in what you do, and helping people is a big motivator. Knowing that I'm making a difference, huge motivator. You guys send me my paycheck every week, you just don't realize it. It comes in the form of like comments and emails. Those are my paychecks. That's what makes me like stay in the game. There's been so many times I have wanted to quit this. I'm just like, there is a dark side to social media that I could not have imagined if I tried. So it's all of your voices, the ones here in this group, the ones that are for me, the ones that are just like, I'm for you no matter what. That's who I'm doing this for. And anyone who's ever probably tried to do anything, there's probably always opposition. There's always going to be haters. There will always be people that, you know, no matter how hard you try, they just will not like you. So I can see that now, but over the course of the last 2 years, it's been painful, because being an introvert means that in some ways you are not socially like mature. I've isolated myself so much of my life that I feel like I don't necessarily know how to handle situations. I don't know how to handle it when people don't like me, just like I don't know how to handle it when they do. It's very weird, and I didn't go, I want to be that girl that everyone is looking at and waiting to see if she's going to offend me or make me happy or inspire me. Like, I didn't think that was going to happen. So focusing on the positive side, I always keep my feed positive. I always, you know, my group's positive. The world has enough drama. The world has enough negativity. I want girls that come, and gentlemen who come in my group to know that when they're there, like this is just, we're going to be about positive things. We're going to be about encouragement. Because, you know, and not in a weird fake way. I want it to be genuine, and the people need to share the things they're going through. Absolutely. Because then you get to like have people come around you. It always makes me feel good to see like someone say, hey, I'm going through this, guys. Like, I know this is a listeners group. I know this is the Happy Place Club, but I'm going through it right now. I love to see the heart women have to be like, to write these big long comments and be, you know, it's like, I can't be there physically for you, but I can write a comment. And don't ever underestimate the power of a comment. I've screenshotted so many of your beautiful comments and printed them out and pasted them in my faith planner because I have seen such ugly things said about me that I have to like open that planner and go look at all the beautiful words that you share. Because that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So you have that power to do that in any of the groups you're in, is to be a light, to shine, to be encouragement. And I think that's kind of one of the most awesome parts of social media, is it can be a place where people are encouraged, because a lot of us, we don't have a support system. You know, we don't. There's a lot of you who live alone, who have few friends. You might not have your family around you. You might have a very, boy, my vocabulary is, what's the word? A dysfunctional family. You might not have a lot of friends. You know, you go to work every day and you might have a couple close coworkers. Maybe you don't have any. So for some of you, social media is kind of a place where you're like, you know, I know your little faces and your little names, and I can count on you that you're going to be like the cheerleader. And the first group I noticed that trend was in my Listers Got a List group. I would see some of the most sweet, kind encouragement, and I just was like, aw, this is what I love. Like, this is what I want to be known for. That I have communities that are about encouragement and loving on each other. And, you know, it's not for complaining about stuff that, you know, that is customer service related. It's not about complaining about other groups and other people. This is, you know, a place for us to like be kind to each other. Because, geez Louise, you guys, like we're just living our lives, right? And we're all in the same world. We're all living our own lives. We're all going through it. And now we can be here. And some of us are like, see, you're sitting here in a chat room and you're talking to each other and you're connecting. And where else do we get to do that? You know, yay for the power of being able to have that platform to do that, so you guys can be like high-fiving each other and me too. The power of the me too. All of us want to be like, me too. I'm like you. I connect with you. I'm connecting with what you're saying. So that's what's awesome. That's why I want to keep this club, like, I know that I've had some bumps with my schedule, but I want to keep this club going for that reason alone, so that you guys can make those connections with each other, even if I can't be like in there and seeing what you're doing. And yes, Gina, social media is a double-edged sword. It definitely is. I have shied away from social media. I didn't even have a Facebook account until I had my shop, and everyone was like, you have to have a Facebook group. You have to have a Facebook account. You have to have these things. And I feel like, dang, Facebook has caused me some of my greatest pain. But then I look at the communities, you know, that I have tried to build and to celebrate certain things, certain passions, certain, you know, things that are important to me. And I just try to focus on that. Literally, my groups are pretty much the only Facebook groups I go into. And that is no joke. And it's by design, because sometimes some of the stuff I see, I'm like, I don't want any part of that. Thank you. So, okay, so I'm working on my second set of dividers. Yes, Nikki, you just got to scroll past it. That's right. Yes, Crafty Peeps, thanks to YouTube. I have been a YouTube junkie. I have YouTube on all the time. I don't have television or anything, so I like watch a lot of stuff from YouTube. And it is so cool. It's cool and it's inspiring. It makes me like want to step up my game. I'm like, you know what? I want to have a theme song in my videos. You know, when people like open up the Late Night Crafty Club, it's like, I want to have something like cheery and bright. I just have not had a chance to like sit down and like learn how to do certain features of YouTube and all the cool stuff that it can do. But I am working on it because that's really my goal. I never would have guessed that I would like video as much as I've grown to like it. And the Late Night Crafty Club really helped with that, because until I started doing this, I never went on camera. I always was just like, hi everybody, it's Three Set Girl. So now it's kind of forced me to do that, and doing this has continued to help me get out there and talk to you guys in person, and to do events or to do workshops. So it's all kind of built upon, each layer is built upon itself and helped me build a foundation to keep doing what I want to do, which is I want to be a professional encourager. I just think that's such a cool title. Yes, Celia, I did. I went through the firestorm all right. That was probably the worst, probably one of the worst years of my entire life. I cannot believe some of the horrible things people said about me. It is just absolutely fabricated. And it is the most bizarre feeling to see people say stuff about you like they know you. Like, we've never even met. How do you make statements about me that are absolutely not true? And it's weird because all it does is it reminds me of elementary school, because I was the kid you bullied. I was the kid you picked on. Every day after school, I'd have like 4 or 5 boys that would chase me home from school, throwing rocks at me. And that kind of stuff, like, that messes with your head as a kid. You just feel like you are like worthless, like you're not worth anything. And so it was really weird going through this experience as like a 45-year-old woman. I'm like, how am I having flashbacks to a time in my life that is like from childhood, and how much money I've spent on therapy to get over it. So, but I have to say this. The upside of all of that, those challenges and that, what do you want to call that? My vocabulary is so gone, you guys. I'm so sorry. That kind of like turmoil is that it actually made me grow closer to God. It actually sort of forced me right into his arms, because I had nowhere else to go. I'm like, my husband can only like hold me and pat my back so many times, try to make me feel better. But God is, for me, he is the source. And that really pushed me towards him. And when I found myself there, that's where I was like, oh. And then my faith life began to like fire up again. And I felt like I really want to do something with this. And that's how I started working on the Faithful Planner Girl planner, and then the Planner Girl workshop. So something wonderful came out of it, no matter how you look at it. And it's just one of those things. In fact, I want to read something to you, because all of us go through hardship. All of us have haters in our life, whether it's your own family. Sometimes your family doesn't get behind some of the things you want to do in life, or it could be your coworkers, people in church. There's haters around us. There's people who just do not think you're awesome the way you are. So we all have to we all come to a moment where we have to decide like who we really are. Do I really want to stoop down to that level and be name calling? I didn't then. When I was a little kid, oh my gosh, I'd stand there and just let them call me names. I wouldn't let them see me cry, but I'd go home and cry. And I did that for so many years that I'm like, see, I'm just going with the flow. I'm just going and doing what I used to do. It's frustrating because you want to defend yourself, but I'm like, but I don't want to be that girl. I don't want to be drama girl. I'm not here for that. I'm here for you guys. I'm here for like this mission, this walk, and it's just like, I'm just going to have to focus forward. And so that has been a huge life lesson. It really has. And so there's part of me that's like, it is what it is. And I'm just moving forward. And people who know me, who watch my videos, who followed me on Instagram, who've met me in real life, they know who I am. They see my consistency. I don't deviate. This is what I'm doing. But I wanted to share something with you, because for those of you who are going through some challenges, there's this one quote that I found that I literally like stopped and like I cried when I found it. It was like I was meant to see it on Pinterest. So this girl, her name is Brittany Moses. And she has a blog, so she's a blogger. She has a private Instagram account, but here's her name, Brittany Moses. And this girl's very gifted with words. She's very gifted with messaging. She has a Facebook account, and she is a person who writes a lot about mental health. So she's in college, and I think she's like in graduate school, and she's in the arena of mental health and from a Christian perspective too. So she's just wise beyond her years, because I think she's young too. So I was just like, this is so beautiful. I wish I had written this. So, so here we go. So I'm going to read this to you, even though you can technically read it along with me. Many times when God isn't changing your circumstance, it's because he's mostly concerned with changing you within your circumstance. Your character, your inner strength, your integrity matters to him because they are everlasting qualities. The wisdom, the strength, and the maturity that grows within you are all things you're going to need to sustain the calling God has on your life. Know that there is a purpose in your pain. Is that not beautiful? I just thought that was one of the most beautiful things I've ever read on Pinterest. And I needed when I found it, it was on a really hard day. So I've kept it, like I printed it out and kept it in my planner, but I wanted to feature it on an actual divider for myself, because that's something all of us can take to the bank. Sometimes we like, why are you letting me go through this? And sometimes there's a bigger purpose to what we see here on the superficial. There's so much more. And the truth is when you get to the other side of that pain, you can look back. You know, it's like you cross a bridge and you look over to the other side and you see all that pain you walk through, and your life is so amazing. Something happens when you get to the other side that you can literally look to yourself and go, you know what? I am so glad I walked through that to be where I am today. If 10, 20 women were like, what you shared with me because of what you went through inspired me to go back to school, to change my life, to go be brave enough to go to school, to change careers. I reconciled with a family member, whatever it is. If any of the stuff that I've said has like made that impact, anyone in that position would be like, heck yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth all that stuff I did to myself, all those painful things I said to myself, telling myself I was weird, so that I can celebrate being an introvert today, and celebrate it in a way that makes you go, huh, I'm an introvert too. And all those things I thought were weird, not really weird. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, and some of us, you know, you get to a certain age in life where you start going, yep, totally, that's totally how it is. Once you get there, you're like, it was so worth it, because now you really see how God can use you. And, you know, if you're a person, you know, who's more of a, you believe in, like, you know, spirituality, and you can see a lot of people feel like, you know, your character is developed, you become a stronger person, you're changed for the better. And there's so many times that a life opens a door and somebody walks in it that was meant to hear what you had to say. They were meant to hear that pain you share, that the joy that you have from going through it. They were meant to hear it. And if you went through all of that just for them to hear that, I think most of us would agree that we're big enough people to say, yep, totally worth it. Totally worth it. Because I'm so distant from it now that I'm like, yeah, I'm so glad I have all this mess back here, because now I'm approachable. I'll tell you what, girls, I was a mess. I had a messy life. I mean, there's not many people who can go, I was single for 20 years, you know? That sounds like a loser, right? But I look at it now and go, but you know what? I had all kinds of reasons for why I was doing what I was doing. I was a focused single mom. I did not want a man, you know, distracting me from, I had a kind of a handful for a kid. I didn't have an easy kid. And I felt like all the energy I had was just like focus on her and like do the best I had, because I felt like I owed her. So I can look at it now and go, but you know what? There's all kinds of reasons, and there's nothing to be ashamed of being a single person. There wasn't. And I'm glad that I went through some of the things that I did now, because I can go, you know what, now I can really appreciate things about being in a relationship. I was just telling my husband, this is the longest I've ever been in a relationship. I think we're going to be married. We're going on 3 years. Like, isn't that funny? For as long as I've been around, that's the longest I've been in one. So I just, I'm grateful, because now there's a lot of women who can relate to me. I didn't have a perfect life. And so there's a lot of, I will never, ever, I'll never be ashamed of being a single woman. I'll never be ashamed of that. I want women to understand I was all kinds of messy, and here I am, and my life is totally different. And I made some brave decisions, and I accepted some hard challenges, that things I didn't really necessarily want to do, but I felt like God was like, here's your opportunity. Do you want to take this or not? Because if you don't take it, I'm going to give it to someone else. And there's a part of me that's like, you know, if I think that that's from him, I'm obedient. I want to. If you're going to use me, I'm in. So I think it's all about perspective and how you look at things in life, and decide what kind of person do I want to be. I look at it now, and I realize how much of my life I've sat on the sidelines, and I don't necessarily want to do that anymore. I don't want to be a sideline sitter. And I'm not judging those of you who are. I'm just saying I've come to a point now where I realize it's been a detriment to me and my walk and where I am now and where I'm going. I can't afford to sit on the sidelines anymore. I got to get in the game. So I am going to walk across the stage and stand in front of hundreds of people and hopefully say something amazing, just so that I know that I can do hard things. And I want all of us to be able to say to ourselves, look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I can do hard things. Because that day is going to come where you're going to be challenged to do something you might not necessarily want to do. But I would tell you, it might be the best thing you ever did for yourself. And if you want to share one of your hard things that you've done and that you're so grateful for, why don't you share that in the comments if you so desire. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's like storming outside. That scared me. It's the rain hitting the window, but I was like, what the heck is that? It's really coming down out there. I love the rain. It's so awesome. You are so welcome, Holly. I am happy to share, because something will come out of my mouth that maybe will be helpful to somebody else. So, that's right. That is right, Miss Freedom Deep. I agree. Sometimes some of us just walk a longer road being single, and you just, you know, and you can either sit there and fight against it and sit there and tell yourself you're a loser, or you can just roll with it. So when I went through my reset period, one of the things I did to to reset my mindset and my life was I decided that I wasn't going to date or anything. I decided to date myself for 6 months. And in that 6 months, I made a reading list for myself of all the books I was going to read. And I made a list for myself of all the brave things I was going to do as a single person, that I was going to end up like loving my life the way that it was. So on that book list was a book about introverts. And I wanted to share something with you. Okay, so let me see if I can remember which camera I'm showing you. There we go. Okay, so I know you can see my little live stream going on over here. So I'm gonna move it here. But see this right here, you guys, 16personalities.com. If you have never taken the Myers-Briggs personality assessment, I would highly suggest that you take this, that you go to this website and you take, this is a very abbreviated version of the assessment. It's much simpler. So it's more quick. The full Myers-Briggs is very dynamic. It's very faceted, but this is a simple version. So you take this test and it will spit out a little 4-letter code, and that code kind of will unlock some mysteries about yourself, give you insight, give you some direction. If you're kind of floundering in your life, sometimes we pick the wrong partners consistently, we pick the wrong jobs, and we end up in a very unhappy place. This was one of the biggest and best things I ever did for myself getting ready to do the reset period of time was going to this, it wasn't this website, I don't think this existed then, but taking this test. So if you have not taken it, I highly suggest you do. Once you have your 4-letter code, another thing you can do is this one right here called personalitycafe.com. You can actually find, there's whole communities of people based on that 4-letter code. So you can like get into like a whole forum or chat room with people that are just like you. Now, I used to do this years and years ago. I have not done it lately, but I know that this was helpful to me. There's all kinds of things in here that I found very helpful. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I've had that screen open. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had some help from Mr. Crafty there for a second. Okay. Well, Miss Donna, I think this is a great way to take it, is on this little abbreviated version, because it's much simpler and free. Free is always good. So Miss Carla Bell shared something that everybody... That's awesome! Way to go, Carla. See, that's what we're talking about. And that's what I say. That's why I started like that, made a little tagline for myself like in 2008. Is it's never too late to reset your life. As long as there's breath in your body, it is never too late to reset. Ever. You can, it should, oh, sorry. There we go. There's a boy in the room. He's checking on his technology, how it's performing.
No, I'm checking on you. My technology's working fine, but the operator has a problem.
Okay. All right, we're alone now. Okay. So, okay, hang on a second. I think I feel like I just kind of lost my... I feel like I lost my chat room. Okay, where are we going? There we go. Okay. Yes, Miss Angela, it is. It is, it is. Okay. I think I am back. There we go. I can't tell if you guys, I can't tell if my the chat room was frozen or if it was just you guys kind of slowed down and you're talking. Okay, so I'm back to cutting. And so that was about bravery. So another thing that kind of goes hand in hand with bravery. So there are certain things that we also do to ourselves that causes us to also remain little wallflowers in life. And one of them is perfectionism. And I allowed perfectionism to completely stifle me. I never did anything creative, like for fun, for myself. I would make things for other people, but not for myself. Not like what we do now in the planner community where we decorate things and like what I'm doing right now. I just didn't do stuff like that for fun because I wasn't talented enough or I wasn't creative enough and stuff like that. So I consistently told myself that I had to be perfect at everything that I did. And even stuff like I'm doing now here, like we're doing this. Like there's part of me that's like, oh my gosh, why can't I have this, this, and this? Why did I launch this and tell everything was all perfect? How come I didn't just wait till I had this all down? Why am I like learning as I go in front of all of you? But see, that's the thing is I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be a perfectionist. Perfectionism is boring. And it's just a tremendous burden to carry. It really is. And it eats away at all your fun. It takes away all the fun of being creative and having fun. And I think all of us who've seen children, when you give them coloring crayons in a book, they are not concerned with how perfect they are. They are concerned with getting color on the paper, anywhere on the paper. And somewhere along the lines, we just start telling ourselves that everything has to be perfect. It has to be within the lines. It has to be this shade. And it's just, it's so disappointing that we do that to ourselves. And because really people are not judging you or even paying attention to you the way that you think they are. So with perfectionism, the first time I feel like I truly overcame that was when I first posted on Instagram in the planner community. And I share that picture of my first post because it's hilarious. If you guys have any time, oodles of time to scroll through all my pictures and find the first planner picture I ever posted. It's hilarious. It's awful. It's not even focused. And but I love it, and I'm so glad it's there because I can look at it and go, see, I was so excited to get my planner, so excited to participate, so excited to share that I didn't even like go through that checklist of perfectionism in my head. I just jumped in. And I'm not a jumper inner. I'm not a participant. I don't join things ever, which is why I find it funny that there was some part of me that joined into the community, that it joined into doing this, because that's not who I'm a lone wolf. You know, and most introverts are. I like to like just do my own thing. I like to be under the radar. I'm like my own little leader of my own little empire, you know? And so it's funny to me that I guess I got tired of being alone, and I was just like, I'm going to jump in and play with you guys. Let's play together. So and since then, I was scrolling through my account the other day because I really was interested. I can see when I look back, I didn't know how to use Instagram. My pictures, I used filters instead of like using the manual settings. The lighting was terrible. I would look at great pictures and I knew I wanted to get there, but I wanted it to be like my style and the stuff I liked. So what I focused on was not so much about being like everyone else. I wanted to be me, but I wanted to have fun. It was fun. I would come home from my full-time job and I'd spend like 2-3 hours styling things and photographing them and being really excited about posting. I mean, I treated posting on Instagram like my full-time job, and I loved it. And I look at that now and I think, you know, if I had not overcome that perfectionism troll that constantly tells you that you have to be a certain way to participate in life, goodness knows where I would be, because I wouldn't get to be doing what I'm doing now. I wouldn't have gotten to meet so many awesome ladies. I wouldn't have gotten to touch lives. I wouldn't have gotten to, like, I don't know, have like a whole awesome planner with my name on it. Like, I wouldn't have gotten to do any of these amazing things that I've gotten to do. You know, it blows my mind if I had let that little voice tell me that's not good enough. You know, you're not good enough to be posting. Everyone has like white backgrounds and everything's so pretty and perfect, you know, and look how you're doing stuff. And my Instagram feed is kind of a hot mess. It does not really reflect the standards of Instagram and how they always say white, clean backgrounds. And when I post a picture with a white, clean background, although I love them, don't get me wrong, I almost sometimes feel like it doesn't feel like me. It feels a little different than what I'm used to. But I've been playing with it more and kind of like experimenting with it. But it's funny how when I look at my early stuff, you can see my evolution of I started having fun. This is supposed to be fun. And I shared this with you guys before I went off to speak at the Alt Summit, and I was speaking on Instagram. This is this cool little book that I put together that was all about growing your Instagram account and what was really important to me, how it was meaningful, and what I focused on. Being authentic is like the number one thing. Being authentic means that you're transparent. You share all your messy. I mean, not all of your messy, obviously, because some of us have got stuff that, you know, probably not appropriate to share on Instagram. But you know what I mean? Like, just the mundane messy, the stuff we can all relate to. When I started talking about being an introvert, a lot of you were like, me too. When I talked about being a single girl as long as I was, me too. When I talked about like how I'm kind of an imperfect planner girl, I really am. It's kind of funny that this is the arena that I found myself in, because I do things in my planner that you guys would just be shocked. Like, I can't believe how many times I've forgotten to write something down in my planner and missed an appointment, or I'm late to appointments. So time management's not my friend. I'm terrible at it, you know, and it's kind of funny that that's kind of where I found my niche, was in the planners, because it's something sometimes I feel like I struggle a bit with. But if I wasn't honest with you and didn't share that with you, then you would think I have it all locked down and you're the one who's, you know, crazy. You're the one who's flawed. And no, I'm I'm flawed too, right along with you. So anyway, building community. That's something 100% I believe in. The Instagram is not about just showing pretty pictures. You have the opportunity to touch lives, to build a community, to make people feel like they're connected, they belong to something bigger. Be proud. Like, I started the hashtag Proud Planner Addict. Like, be proud of your planner addiction, girls. You know, you will inspire other women that are like, oh, I've always loved planners. I didn't know there was a planner community. You know, when you are loud and proud and you start posting on your Instagram feed and your friends see it, let them make fun of you. There'll be some women who don't, because they'll be like, me too. So those were some of the things that I shared at that, because my Instagram obviously was how a lot of this started. And I look at that as like the whole foundation of everything I've done. Was it started with telling perfectionism to kick rocks. Like, I'm just going to have fun for a change, and I'm just going to do this. And I loved kind of developing my own style. When I look at some of the things that I was doing, you can see like that was me being creative. Maybe I wasn't a scrapbooker, or I wasn't, you know, a paper crafter. I was a styler. You know, I like to move the objects around, the washi just right, and I did it for my own, like, I love this. This is so fun. I look forward to it. You know, it's its own form of creativity. Is the photography itself. It was a lot of fun. And so when I think back to some of the stuff that I got to do, you know, starting Listers Got a List, that helped a lot of women get their feet wet. Like, I'm on the fringe of crafting. I'm a wallflower in the crafting world. I never participate. But Listers Got a List was this very easy way to baby step your way into like being creative, because I know how to write a list. We all do. A lot of us are just hardcore listers. And now I'm just slapping some stickers around it and some washi, and maybe next month when I do it, I'll add some die cuts, and the next thing you know, I'm putting watercolors down and I'm using lettering. And so for some women, it was very helpful for them, and especially women who are going through anxiety or depression. It's some little connection that you have. So perfectionism is not your friend. It is not something that I would encourage you to be friends with. Do not embrace this. This is something that is in many ways kind of harmful to us, because we set ourselves up for disappointment. We set ourselves up for being highly critical of ourselves, where most people will say, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And you're like, but I didn't cut this right, and I didn't do that, and I didn't do this. And so I realize, like, I look at some of my videos and I'm just like, I can't believe that I didn't even bother to look up the video of how to like use my cinch and like figure out how to actually use it. I just wing so much stuff, and I'm like, I'm just going to let all of them see how imperfect and flawed I am, because somebody needs to be the one to be like, I'm going to learn as I go, and I'm going to show you, because I feel like I look at some women who just are so talented, and I feel like automatically I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. So I want someone to like, here, this is why I'm doing this, and I'm thinking of doing that, and I'm going to move this here, and oh crap, I glued this the wrong way. But that's okay. This is how you fix it. So that was one of my big things I would call a call to action, if you will, ladies, is that's right, Diane. You do isolate yourself. Perfectionism is isolating. And oftentimes what we end up doing is we'll look at other women and go, oh, she has it all together. Her feed is so beautiful. Her kids are so beautiful. Her life is so perfect. And she could be going through the most horrible thing ever. One of her kids could be going through, you know, chemotherapy, for all you know. Her husband just lost their job, and now they are like living with her parents because their home got repossessed. We don't know all the story behind anything on Instagram or social media. So using that as a barometer to measure yourself against is probably one of the worst things we can do. And that leads me into my next point, which is comparison. So bye, Miss Cobra. I didn't get to see whether or not you were eating pie tonight. I know you normally have your pie, so now I just called you out in front of everybody. But I know some of you are staying up really late to be part of this, and I really appreciate you. I think it's awesome that you do that. I did call it the Late Night Crafty Club for a reason. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when we start moving around the country and my time zone changes. So it will be interesting to see what happens. So for those of you who are saying good night, good night, good night. Oh, I love that. I remember that now. Sleep with excellence. I remember that from a few episodes ago. Okay, so I'm on my last set of, my last set of dividers here. And comparison. We need to stop comparing ourselves to others. And there's a really good quote, which I'm probably going to say wrong right now, is, but don't compare your beginning to somebody else's middle. Oftentimes we look at what someone else is doing, and I'll be honest with you, I do this too. I have to catch myself. I will look at some like amazing workbook or an ebook that someone else has produced, and I'll think, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I write that? Why didn't I do that? That's probably like the one I'm guilty of the most. Is I'll be like, oh, why? But the truth is I have no idea how long that person has struggled with getting that book out. How many years of, torturing themselves, procrastinating, telling themselves they weren't good enough, perfect enough, no one's going to read it. You have no idea what that person went through to get that product created. So I catch myself doing that, and I'm like, all of us, we have our own individual stories. We have our own individual struggles. So we all have the opportunity to share something. And even if my book has the same topic as her book, it's going to come from my voice. It's going to come from my experiences, because we did not have the same life. So that's something all of us need to remember. And your husband's snoring, Jenny. That's funny. My husband is a snorer too, but he wears that CPAP machine. So I get to listen to this all night long. So... 1 a.m. You guys are such troopers. Thank you, Angela. You're up late too. Your husband's at the bar. My husband's downstairs on the computer playing a video game with his adult son. So I think they're probably the oldest guys in the online gaming space that they play in. It's awesome. Yes, it is, Diane. Comparison is the thief of everything. It's the thief of joy. It's the thief of, like, how do you, like, high five yourself when you're comparing yourself to someone else? Because you know what? We are never going to be as critical of someone else as we are of ourselves. So you're going to cut that person so much slack. Maybe the stuff that they produced, if you did it in your own way with your own talents, it would be amazing too. It would touch lives. It would inspire people. It would sell like hotcakes for all you know. But because you compare yourself to somebody else, you are putting yourself in the position where you're already like second best. And, and some of us are really good at it. Some of us kind of go overboard the other way and go, oh, my stuff is awesome. I don't do that. That's never been like the story in my head. I take personal pride in the work that I do, for sure. And I try not to run myself down at all, because, after a lifetime of doing that, my reset period was, hey, embrace all the good stuff about you. You have lots of strengths. I agree. My weaknesses, they're there. But I choose not to dwell on them. I choose not to try and fight against them. I'm just like, I accept the fact there are certain things that I'm just not good at. And quite honestly, at this stage in my life, I am not at the point where I want to invest time in fixing them. I'm just going to focus on the stuff I do great. I do great. My paper, my work right here. It's like being in school. Like, don't put your eyes on your classmate's paper. And so sometimes with comparison, and I'm going to share this with you because these are great talking points. Thank you, Holly. I plan to share them at my meeting, my speech. Of course, it will be much more polished than this, I hope. And by the way, I have learned in the times that I've gotten to speak, now I've done 2 important talks. So I spoke at Atlanta PlannerCon. That was a group of about 200 women. And I put my presentation together, and I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I put that presentation together at midnight the night before. I started working on it at midnight, and I was done at 2 in the morning, and then I presented it the next day. And part of it was because Perfectionism and procrastination work hand in hand. And I was so terrified of getting up in front of people that I wasn't going to have anything good to say, because I'm like, I don't have any experience of just standing up in front and talking in front of people. So I tortured myself until like the last minute, and then I put a presentation together. I went in there, and then it was like my passion for what I was talking about just took over. And all that worry that I had, just it kind of evaporated. I could hear myself talking from like a distance, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, you're doing awesome, Corey. You're saying stuff you didn't plan to say. I had a little PowerPoint presentation that was all just photographs, and I was saying stuff for each picture, and it just flowed. And I realized that's the kind of speaker I am. I actually don't, the more I try to plan it, the worse I feel like I feel inside about it. So now maybe it's just like too much bravado, but there's a part of me that's just like, you're going to make an outline. You're going to put your little pictures together. You're going to like hit these points, and you're just going to talk from your heart, because your heart, I'm telling you this now, if you ever have to go speak, when you speak from your heart, you cannot go wrong. The most amazing things will come out of your mouth that you will even be like, wow, I'm inspired. I just inspired myself. And I've gotten to experience it in a nice, like, intimate group of women that were all sitting around me, and we were talking about Instagram, and I bragged on you wonderful women. But I got to feel it there, and I got to feel it in front of a bunch of women. And I have to tell you, it was the most amazing feeling. And I took an F in high school rather than get up in front of the class and give a presentation in my senior year. When I went to college, speech was the last class I took. And I took an accelerated class where I could take the entire class in like 2 weekends and be over. So it's something I dread. I never wanted to get up in front of people. So it's amazing to me that as much as I hated the idea, when I actually get up and do it, it's like, la 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 la, because it's from here. It's not from up here. Here's all messy. This doesn't work out so well. It's here. So I think that's kind of like my plan, is I'm talking from there. I'm going to give myself a little skeleton to work from. My friend Angela is awesome. She totally gave me so much help getting some clarity with that. Like, I was in panic mode, and ever since we talked on the phone, Angela, now I'm like, I'll worry about it later. But I know exactly what I want to talk about now, so that's a good thing. And you guys gave me so many great ideas when we were talking in the last Crafty Club. You guys left so many awesome comments, and on the 2 posts that I put in the Facebook group, the Happy Place Club, thank you so much for sharing. I wanted to go and hit every single one and say thank you. But I think that finally like did that for me. Like, okay, so I'm just going to focus on these 3 things, and the reset part of it will be part of that whole story. And then I'm going to talk about perfectionism and comparison, because women are prone to having problems with both, and especially comparison. And when I think about it, even when you are like in competition with other people, like say we all have stores together, it's very hard, it's very natural. Your competition sometimes outweighs like just being like, let's all be just friends, let's all be supportive of each other. And so there's a struggle, a battle, because you're like, well, I want to be picked though, I want someone to order from me, I want to be really good. And there's nothing wrong with like you just doing your best work, and someone's going to love your stuff or they're not. But when you start developing bitterness towards your friends or the people in your community because you're like, everything always happens good for her, that's the problem where I feel like we go sideways. And that bitterness starts kind of like rooting in our heart, and then it starts feeding upon itself. And then we have a hard time being happy for our friend when great things happen for them. We have a hard time, I feel like I saw this a lot when people started kind of attacking, when they started attacking different stores. I feel like there's a lot of people that go, they chime in that ordinarily wouldn't, but because they're like, let's kick her while she's down. It's kind of interesting to see that dynamic in our community. And it's disappointing at the same time too, because I thought we were all friends, and then as soon as one of us starts attacking one of us, we're going to start all joining in together. And it's just terrible. And so comparison can breed jealousy and bitterness, and that's a bad thing. So I really feel like, um, sorry, squirrel. Okay, Miss Jenny. Good night, good night, good night. Yes, Susanna, I totally agree. Hashtag community over competition. And I actually even included that in my Instagram booklet, was that because there's a whole group, and I'm probably going to forget their name right now. I think it's called the Rising Tide Society. Rising Tide Society. They have they've kind of organized themselves to be about supporting each other, all businesses together, and to really focus on community over competition. Competition is it's kind of a human trait, and a lot of us have different spectrums of it. I think, how far we take that. Some of us are quite obnoxious with our competitiveness, but for the most part, I find that when you allow yourself to get competitive, like I said, the jealousy and bitterness kind of like, oh, boom, here we are, we're here. Let's like do a number on you and ruin your day and make you feel bad about everything you're doing because you're not successful enough. Really crummy. Everyone grows at their own pace, and we all are learning what to do. There's no rule book in the world of like social media businesses. There's no book that's like, this is how you come into the planner community and establish a business and start selling. You just try things. You try. I wanted to be myself. I wanted to be really authentic. I wanted to be very encouraging. I wanted to be very happy. I love marketing. So I focused a lot on how my brand looks, how it feels, what people experience with me. And so yay for me. But that's a special skill set and a gift that I have, that helped me be successful. And then there's other women who could just like mow me over with how awesome they are with business. I am not good at running a business. That is not my skill set. But there are some people who are brilliant. They're objective. They make good analytical decisions. They can look at numbers. It's exciting to them. They can, they can be a good leader. They can have employees and like lead them into greatness. We all have these different little skills that we put together. So comparison is definitely something that I feel like has really it can play itself out in our community, where like I don't even want to participate because I'm not as good as they are. I don't even want to post anything because I'm not as creative as you are. I always, like, every time I see someone post in a group and they're like, this is my first time posting, please be gentle. We're not submitting our homework to each other. This is a group for encouragement and like, yay, you did it. And even if no one even comments on your post, girl, you know that you did it. We're not in groups for like, we shouldn't be focused on like our likes and the accolades. It's just like, here's my contribution to the community. You take it or leave it. It's what I made, mistakes and all. And if you guys saw my stuff up close, you'd see all kinds of flaws in it. But, through the magic of distance, you cannot see it. But all of us have our own styles and ways of doing things. And, and it's, so I really want us to focus on what brings us joy, what makes us happy. And my style is not for everyone, and if it were, who knows where my business would be if my style was for everyone. All of us have different styles and different things. There's lots of planner girls who love washi that I don't care for, would never use. There's all kinds of planners out there and inserts out there that don't work for me, and I don't like to buy stuff that I'm not going to use, or just because I want to buy something. I've tried really hard to nip that in the bud. And so I'm not posting a ton of stuff anymore of like, look at what I bought, look at what I bought, look at what I bought. Because we do that a lot with the look at what I bought thing. That's comparison. We're comparing, well, what'd you get and what'd I get? I try to just focus on like what is meaningful. I want to post things that are meaningful, updates on like what I'm offering in the shop. But you know what I mean? Like I've kind of like honed in on really more of like, what I want to focus on. And comparison makes us kind of crazy too, because I feel like I don't know if some of you remember this in our community, when the Target dollar spot was like the crack bin. I feel like Target was so strategic. They would just have like so many products come out, and it would make women go from store to store to store to store to buy those page flags, or whatever it was. I really only remember page flags being a huge thing. And then it was always about like, well, what do you have? What's in your stash? What does your stuff look like? What planners do you have? And sometimes, I mean, that's fun. Don't get me wrong. I love seeing what other people have, but not in a way where it makes me feel bad about what I have. There's a lot of women who are like, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have the budget for that. And I feel like sometimes it's like, then let's focus on what we do have, what we enjoy, what we like. And I know I do all kinds of stuff. I'm not trying to like be a voice for the entire planner community. I like to do what I like, and if you like it, yay. And if that's not your style, maybe there's something else that you like about being on my cheat feed or channel or whatever. But I don't want anyone feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't do what you do. Yes, you can, because I'm not doing anything amazing. I spent this whole, like, what are we at? Almost 2 hours cutting paper. So it is still a crack bin, huh? I have not gone into Target, and I don't even know how long. And the last time I've gone, I didn't even look in the bins. Like, I have stopped even looking. I just walk on past because I have a huge de-stash box of page flags, pencils, pens, stuff I have never used. I like using it. I used to like using it in my photos all the time, and that's why I feel like I was kind of buying it, was just to be like, oh, it's a prop. But then you hoard it and you're not using it. I would buy page flags. I'm going to use these, and I never did. So I'm like, you know what? We got to stop the madness. No more buying page flags just to buy them. So I got off the train. Oh, thank you, Claudine. The dollar spot. So, in the dollar store, you guys just said, another place that I don't go. I've decided that, like, much like eating, like how you just like emotionally eat, sometimes people that have emotionally eating problems also have emotional shopping problems. And I have both problems. So I just stopped going into stores because I was bored, or because I wanted something to do, or because I had money in my account. Like, those are dumb reasons. And after shoveling out my garage and like looking at all the bins of stuff I have, which is going to be so embarrassing when I show you guys. And for the record, a lot of it I bought because I thought, well, I'm going to put this in a kit, or I'm going to do a giveaway, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. All these like big plans that I had that I didn't do. Now I look like a crazy craft hoarder. So I will. Good night, Miss Spirited Grace. That's okay, Lori. There is no judgment here. You can still go to Target. I'm not telling anyone to not go. I'm simply saying that I had to get off the crazy train because I found myself like making bargains with people who I have a bad Target here in this area. So I was constantly like, if I saw someone that like had a few packs, maybe I might feel, if I really wanted it bad, I'd be like, hey, psst, psst. Can I buy that pack off of you? But I didn't want to be that girl anymore, especially because I know I don't even use them. So I just stopped looking, and not going into the store, not looking. That right there is how you nip it in the bud. Just don't go look. You can't buy stuff you didn't see. I am really good at coming up with reasons why I have to have things. And I have to tell you, my Instagram feed has been one of the most, and being a shop owner have been two of the most enabling features of being a shopper I've ever experienced. I can't believe how much money I've spent on stuff with the quest of, I'm going to post about this, I'm going to put it on my Instagram, I'm going to put it in a kit, I'm going to sell it, and then I don't. So yes, Julie Daiso, another great. I know, Diane, it is crazy. Craft Hoarders Anonymous. I'm Corey. No judging, right, Corey? There is no judging here, and I don't want anyone to feel. I'm not trying to make you feel bad at all, girl. I've been there. When you guys, I will be very honest. When you see my garage and you see the bins of stuff, the bins of planners and traveler's notebooks. Oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. But I'm gonna be brave, and I'm gonna show you guys all the stuff that I have that wouldn't fit in this craft room, which is full. And I've been in this craft room now. In May, it will be a year we've lived here, and I have used a fraction of what is sitting around me. So I've been making this amazing list of all the stuff that if I can remember it, that I own it, it goes on the list, and that gets to go on the RV. That's going to be the first layer. Like, that's who's going to get on the RV first, is if I can remember you. Are you that significant in my life? Like my gold scissors, my rose gold scissors, my Raskog cart. Like, that's how I'm doing it, is I have to remember that I own you and that I use you. So you guys can take that idea, because you'll be surprised what you won't remember you own. And sometimes I'll open a drawer and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have these. So it's funny. Yes, Donna, I agree. Amazon is one of those things where it's like, click, click, and I just spent $40. Click, click, $25. And they're onto us now, because now they have like all kinds of planners. I saw how fast, like when the Carpe Diem planners, there was like 2 waves. So there was like the first wave, and I got to be part of that, so I sold through a lot of planners. And then the second wave, where like Amazon got on board, and there's like sellers on Amazon and sellers on Walmart. And I'm like, wow, those planners are getting around now. The planner community has created a lot of commerce. We are very good shoppers. I know, Lori. And you know what the worst part is about Target, Dollar Spot, like the little page flags? They're not even that great. They're not even good page flags. They're not, they either have like the sticky on the front of them, or they don't, like they don't hold very well. They're super thin. It's just funny to me how we make such a big deal about them, and yet they are not a perfect page flag. Okay, I'm still cutting. And it is 10 o'clock. So this is what happens when you have the Late Night Crafty Club and it's unscripted, because now I'm just like all over the place. I'm just talking about stuff randomly. I have no idea what time it is. And usually when I pre-film, I'm way more cognizant of that, and I try and hit the 2-hour mark, and then I'm like, we're done here. I feel like I pretty much said a lot of what I wanted to say. My popcorn is still sitting here untouched, because that would be obnoxious if I ate that on camera. And, you know, Julie, if you are going to PlannerCon, I assume that's what you're asking. Here's what I will say about that. I noticed some people in the Happy Place Club were talking about gathering together for Saturday night, because at PlannerCon they are having like this kind of unplanned planner time. So you can kind of like come, go, do what you want. There's no one on stage. You're just kind of like, you just show up and plan and do stuff together. And there's part of me that really wants to do it. I really do. And there's part of me that thinks, I don't know where I will be emotionally or mentally. Either I'm going to be like my extroversion will either be completely exhausted, or I will be totally on fire and be like, let's do it. So I feel like in the past when I've done 2 back-to-back event days, I do tend to power through and do really good. And like the Wisconsin one, I was really proud of myself, because I taught 2 classes, spent all afternoon hanging out with girls, and then I stayed up until 4 in the morning talking with 2 lovely ladies about their business. So that was like my best introvert self. Like, I killed it, being able to extrovert that much. So I would say that there's a very good chance I will, because, you know, how often do you get to do that, and how fun will that be? But I probably, depending on where and when, I might be coming in my pajamas. I might be doing that, so you never know. Oh, hello! Is it Lidima? Lidima? You just arrived. Well, we are actually about ready to start closing down. I'm sorry. But I have to, so the difference between how we're doing these live events and just pre-recording means that I have to process this whole video and then get it to upload to YouTube, which means that this video probably will not be available until tomorrow afternoon, because YouTube takes hours to process things. And usually a 2-hour video could take like 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours total. It could take that much. So I won't promise. I want to leave myself a exit door, but I have a feeling that I will end up doing planning on Saturday because I just know myself. It will be it's too awesome a chance to get to actually hang out with you girls, and I just yeah, we'll leave it at that. So if I come, I come in pajamas. That's all I gotta say. So yes, it's 4 a.m. somewhere. Who's got a 4 a.m.? Okay. I missed the part where someone said it's 4 a.m. Bras are always optional. Yeah, I'm a bra in public kind of girl. So how many ladies, how many people are going to PlannerCon? Just wondering. And I can't tell, is the chat room going? Sometimes it like hiccups and it doesn't show right away. And I can't tell what you guys are looking at or what I'm looking at. Okay, maybe you guys stopped talking. It kind of, okay, there we go. It's been a treat. Well, thank you, April. I am glad you feel that way. I'm sorry that I didn't do something more exciting than just cutting paper, but it's how I roll. That's all I do around here these days. Is like, this is it. I cut paper, punch buttons, getting kits together, getting stickers put together for kits. I am so excited to share with you guys the Faith kit. I can't even. I love it so much. It's full of these beautiful flowers. Let me show you. These flowers right here are in the Faith kit. So it's gorgeous. So yes, if you guys are gonna go to the Saturday night planning event at PlannerCon, if you can do something like have a little sign or something, if you've come by and said hi to me and said, hi, I am so-and-so, I'm one of your late night crafty clubbers, and we're going to be here for tonight, then I will know where to go. I will know where my people are. So, awesome. Yep, it's okay, Susanna. You can just like show up fashionably like at the last minute, like, here I am, everybody. I'm like that too. Sometimes I don't like to commit. Sometimes that's hard for me. And it's funny because I committed to this like over a year and a half ago, and it was like that just felt so far in advance. I was like, sure. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, it's here. It's really happening. And we have all this stuff going on, of course, you know, at the time, like nothing was going on, and now all of a sudden everything's going on. But that's just how it is around here. So I am thinking what I'm going to do for my Faith kit stuff is I'm going to have probably, I would really love to offer some digital dividers that you guys can print out on cardstock and put scrapbook paper on the back of them and make dividers. You just add your tabs. And then you can, you'll have that to like supplement the Faith kit. And then when you take the Faithful Girl Planner class, you'll have all that too. So, because I know a lot of my followers are, I always say faith girls. And when I say that, I tend to mean like Christian girls but I don't know if that's a good way of looking at it, because I think faith is very subjective to people. So, good night, Miss Holly. You know, there actually was going to be a PlannerCon in Australia, and then those poor girls got they got attacked, is I guess the best way to say it. They faced a lot of negativity, and there wasn't as much support for it as, you know, it's a shame, and so they just decided to shut it down. So, but I am putting on my wish list. I really want to get to Australia. I know I have a lot of Australian customers, and there's lots of planner girls there, and I would really love to offer a workshop there one day. So I'm putting that on my wish list, that's where I'm going to go. I know, Susanna, it's so true. It's like, wouldn't that be fun if we could watch PlannerCon just from like a video stream? And yes, my printable store is coming. We've been working on it. We have, you guys, we have the magazine covers that I showed you. I have like 5 girls. And all 5 of them, there's the reset. So I have, let me show you. So I have like Reset magazine, and then I have Planner Girl magazine. I have 5 girls in each collection, and then I have them in all the sizes. So there's a personal A5 dividers, there's traveler notebooks, there's Erin Condren and the Happy Planner. Those are all covers and dividers that will be available with the magazine cover look. And there's 5 different girls, and there is diversity because I that was important to me. So there's all of those are going to be available. I also have the little RV and the little trailer that I showed you guys in the last video. Those are going to be in there. And I also have 2 more. Like one has a typewriter and a vintage camera. So there's some really cute little covers. And then actually, let me take that back. The Erin Condren one is kind of on the fence right now because Erin Condren, you would have to take that artwork and upload it to their site, and I haven't tested that yet. I would actually like to do it myself before I sell it to you to make sure it works. So that one I might have to add later if that happens. But all of these will be available very soon. I'm going to be offering journal cards. I'm going to offer embellishments. Like you'll have a whole sheet of like little die cuts that you can just kind of fussy cut. And what else? Oh, and my planner inserts. So those will all be coming, and it's so cute. I can't wait to show what I got going. So the Traveler's Notebook is just going to be the standard size. I'm not going to go through all the crazy sizes right now. I'm just focused on getting out the main sizes in this first wave, and we'll see what. Yes, the word faith is neutral, so it can go either way. So yay, Natasha. I know in Australia it is expensive to ship things. Holy moly. Angela, I will do that, okay? You asked, I will. That's how I am. So, okay, Miss April, that is an excellent question. I do not know. I am not in charge of PlannerCon's, what they're doing in terms of like recording or anything like that. So I don't know if it's going to be recorded. If they're going to upload it, they might. They might upload. Erin Condren is another speaker. So it's possible. I don't object to being recorded. And I'm totally looking over here where I should be looking over here. I'm so sorry, you guys. This is like there's like so much to look at. My eyes are glued to the to the chat room right now because I'm like reading what you're doing, and now I'm wondering what I look like doing it. Okay. I don't remember if the RV is in the Traveler's Notebook. I will have to double check that now that I think about it. I was so focused on the magazine covers that I didn't think about the others. So I want to crank out lots of journal cards, and what I am going to do is I'm going to go back through the artwork that we've done for our past Listers Gotta List kits, and I'm going to release those as like die cuts and journal cards so that you can print them out at home and cut them. So a lot of the really cute stuff that's all exclusive to me, I'm going to upload that into the store at some point. So my plan was to have the digital store launched before PlannerCon, but I am beginning to think that is not a goal that I will be able to reach because there's so much stuff that you have to write directions and emails like confirmations and all kinds of stuff so that you guys have the most information up front as possible. Mr. Crafty and I are not like, we can't be tech support with like printer issues and all that. So I'm trying to make sure I put links in there to like Adobe so that because these are all going to be PDFs. So they're the most simple things to print in the world. So I want to make this as user-friendly as possible. So there's just a lot of stuff you got to do up front. So I'm thinking what's going to happen is it's going to be my very biggest focus when I get back from PlannerCon is getting the digital store up. It will have inserts, dividers, covers, embellishments, and journal cards. And I have to tell you, I love designing for it. It is so much fun. Like I just whipped these out last night, like at midnight. I was making my little faith cards. So I will be putting lots and lots of stuff in there. And I can't wait. It's going to be so exciting. And it's very RV friendly because all I need is a laptop to do it, so I can whip stuff out. And, you know, and honestly, uh-oh. Bye, Jean. Thank you for stopping by. Cats are fighting. No. Oh, Lori, that's so sad. I'm so sorry. I know. It's like you start getting it in your head about like, oh, who am I going to talk to? What's going to be like? I feel so self-conscious, and I know a lot of people struggle with that. It just introverts have a hard time, and it's such a big event that we can overwhelm ourselves thinking like, you know. And I'm not going to lie. I'm the same way. I've canceled on tickets I've bought, things I've paid good money to do, and I will cancel at the last minute. And not anything in the last few years, but in my before, I definitely have. I can think of like a concert that I paid money to go see, and then I chickened out about going by myself. So I was like, oh, all that money I spent. So, but Lisa, no one be terrified. There are lots of friends that are there waiting to meet you. This is one of those things where the best icebreaker in the world is, so what kind of planner do you have? That's all you have to do. What kind of planner do you have? You can literally talk to anybody there. What kind of planner do you have? And this is it. This is like our Super Bowl, getting to be together and like, go team. We're all planner girls, and it'll be fun. So I totally understand that there's a lot of anxiety around doing something like this, and trust me, I totally understand what you're going through there. So, oh, Miss Hildy, I'm coming from the Seattle area myself, but we will be driving. We're going to leave on Wednesday night, so it's like a 14-hour drive, and so yes, Brenda, it stumbled upon the Traveler's Notebook, and for many of us, we know that is a glorious little tool. I actually, let me show you guys something. You'll appreciate this. So Freckled Fawn just started selling dories, and I happened to see, whose account did I see? See, I am no better, I am no worse or better than you guys. I'm the same way. Sometimes I gotta be like, no, don't do it. But I saw this. Mrs. Elaine Davis. Mrs. Elaine Davis is one of the Illustrated Faith Girls, and she has a super bright, fun account, and she was showing this, and I took one look at it, and I was like, I have to have it, and then I put it in my cart, and I let it sit there, and I looked at it every day, and I kept going back and forth. Do you really need that, Corey? Do you really need that? But the truth is that I love it so much. I love the color. The pattern is one of my favorite. So I decided that I would go ahead and do it because I'm getting rid of so many other ones that I wanted something awesome. And see, you guys are all scared. Everybody's scared. We're all scared together. I'm scared, you guys. Do you think about that? This is scary for all of us. Introverts we don't force ourselves often into the social situations. So we build up a lot of social anxiety within ourselves. I'm going to be scared walking in there. I'm scared. I'm wondering are they going to be disappointed when they see me? Are they going to want to be my friend? Are they going to want to talk to me? Are they going to be judging me? Am I going to live up to their expectations? All of that goes through my head too. All of it does. We're all concerned about what we look like, what we're acting like, what people are thinking about us. All of us are going through that. That's why I so want to focus on celebrating the introverts who've shown up. In fact, I just recently learned, because I haven't spent as much time in that group as I should have, but PlannerCon actually has a really cute little hashtag, I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it is YOLO Solo or Solo YOLO, one of the two. I think it's YOLO Solo. So they have a little pin that they did. So if you're showing up alone and you say, hey, I'm in the YOLO Solo Club or something like that, they will even give you a little pin so you can identify each other. You can be like, oh, you're alone too. I say that we all make a concentrated effort in our little introverted selves to force ourselves to talk to somebody, because you are not alone. You are among many women who all feel self-conscious, who all feel kind of scared and kind of awkward. There are a lot of people going by themselves, and that makes them feel weird. And there's nothing to feel weird about. This is like your sisterhood. We are this is all our sisters in planning. And the best icebreaker is, what planner do you have? We look at each planners all the time on Instagram. Now you get to look at it in real life. So if that's just the way you get to talk to somebody, you have no idea. Some of the most awesome, thank you, Susanna. I don't know what he posted, but he was booted. So see, I want to be your friend. I want to be your friend too. We can all be friends, and then we can do our little crafty thing tonight or Saturday night. So just know you are not alone. And as awkward as you feel, as anxious as you feel, there's a bunch. You are in the right group. There's a bunch of girls who feel just like you. Awkward, anxious, scared, nervous, and you're going to end up at the end of this going, that was so fun. I'm so glad I did that, because I have said that every single event I've gone to. Every event, getting to interact with other women who want to look at, let me look at your washi ring. Let me look at your planner. This is it, guys. This is our chance to be around women like us that get it, that enjoy it, that are proud. Yes, I'm a planner girl. So YOLO solo. That's it. That's right. There's buttons that they've made. And don't forget, I want the bait. That's right. Look, don't forget, buttons. All you have to do is come say hi to me. I don't bite. All I want to do is give you a hug. If that sounds weird. I have found, being my introverted self, that the best thing I can do is extrovert. Every little ounce of extroversion is outward. Let me love on you and hug on you and thank you for everything you've done for me. I am there for you. I don't have any agenda other than to be there for you guys. If you want to come talk to me and share something with me, if you've wanted to share something you have never gotten the chance to or felt shy, please come talk to me. Come say hi to me. I'm like you guys. I don't know what to expect, and this is all kind of weird. This is our first time, but we are trailblazers. We'll always be able to say we were at the very first PlannerCon. So, I made buttons as my bait to get you to come say hi to me and give me an opportunity to thank you personally, because I certainly owe you that. I owe you more than you guys realize, because I wouldn't be getting to go out into the world, getting to be in an RV and go drive around and go teach workshops or any of that if you weren't there to show up for me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I feel like I need to get a big skywriter and write it over every state in the country. Thank you for that. And so introverts, I really, yes, Nikki, I do actually have a limited number. So they said plan on 1,000 people attending. I am not sure how accurate that is, and I don't think 1,000 people are going to come visit me. We're going to make as many buttons as we can make before we have to leave, and so I just know that we probably won't hit 1,000, but well, thank you, Erica, and I self-edit too. And I totally get it, you guys. Like I was sharing with you before, I feel self-conscious about going up to women that I admire and be like, I've read about your life and you did things that inspired me, but I know how much it means to me when I hear it. So I should have gone and done that, and shame on me that I talked myself out of it, but I understand. So you're going to be braver than I was, and I'm going to give you a button. If that's a struggle for you, or it's not, you just came up because you wanted to talk to me, a button it is, because that's something that I thought would be really fun. And then you would know if it was hard for you, that you'll know that you earned it by doing something you thought was scary. So that's why I really wanted to talk about introversion, because I know how debilitating it can be. Even though we could have a healthy outlook on it, like I have a healthy outlook on it, but I know it still gets to me. And sometimes we're better at it getting over it than others. So I want you to do brave things. If I can get up on that stage and walk across there and face you and talk from my heart, I just hope that you can show up and be around people that are going to just like be really excited to be there. Like, you can do that. If you're struggling with this, I really hope that you do. And I wish that PlannerCon was something all of us could participate in. I truly do. I know it's kind of, it makes me feel bad that like only some of us get to go, and a lot of you are going to have to like see from the distance. And I will ask about posting anything that gets recorded. I'm sure a couple times that I've talked, I've seen people probably Periscope it or something. I'm not exactly sure. So, but I'll ask if they'll make anything we say available later. So hopefully I nail it. Okay. So if you're the praying type, I would ask for your prayers that I just want to make God proud, and I want to get out there, and this message I've been carrying around for a year and a half, that I kill it. I want to touch lives. And so please keep me in your prayers this week, because I really need it. Struggle. So, okay. I am going to sign off because now we've gone longer than I think we ever have. But I will leave the chat box open for a little while so that those of you who want to like kind of make connections and be like, okay, I will go and I'll meet you up and all that good stuff, that it's there in the chat room and you guys can connect. And then throughout the week in the Happy Place Club, which is kind of where I sort of house the Late Night Crafty Club, please feel free to post in there. I've seen a few of you say, like, are any of you going to PlannerCon? So please talk to each other, and don't, just remember, this is hard for all of us. It is. And you're not alone, and don't feel embarrassed at all. Just be transparent, be authentic. Hey, I'm scared, I'm nervous, and it'll be okay. We're gonna do this, and it's gonna be awesome, and we'll be able to, like, after we've done it, we'll be like, that's a little checkbox off of your list of brave things that you get to check off. Some of us have never been to a planner event, and now you'll be able to, like, I've been to a planner event, and you've been to a big planner event, so that's really great. And you know what, Donna, I will ask Mr. Crafty. It's going to be kind of interesting because him and my daughter are the only ones that are going to be there with me, and so I don't know do we close our shop and be in the room, or do one of us have to stay behind and work the booth? So I'll ask him what he will do. So thank you, Gina. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, Miss Claudine. And yes, Miss Angela, we will see you again, and I'll see you at PlannerCon. Thank you. I can't say enough good things about you guys. Thank you so much. You guys have no idea what you do for me, and I absolutely love the love that you show me. So thank you very much. And obviously I will not be doing a Late Night Crafty Club next Friday because I will be in my room either drinking or I'll either be drinking or praying. Maybe a little both. I'm not sure. But we will I'm going to leave it open-ended for right now because I am not sure how fast I'm coming back from PlannerCon. I really want to see my mom and dad, so possibly the Friday after, which would be, I think, the 17th-ish, and I could be wrong on my dates right now. But I will post in the Happy Place Club on Instagram to let you know when the next episode will be. Thank you so much for being in my first live edition and just being super awesome and patient, listening to weird music in the beginning. Awesome, Celia. That's how you do it. You check it all off. So thank you, Mud. Thank you, Lisa. Thanks, Brenda, so much. My little twinsy. And oh, how cool is that? Hawaii Planner Expo's tomorrow. Dang. But I'm going to be in Hawaii in May, so I'm hoping that I could possibly like hook up an event there because Silhouette was so gracious to ask us again. So I'm going to see possibly. So Hawaii could be coming for you. So good night, Miss Natasha. Actually, it's not night for you, Natasha. Good day. Thanks, Carrie. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Miss Lori. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye, Tanisha. You guys have an awesome rest of your night. Actually, we're probably all going to go to bed now, except for those in other countries who are facing their day. I hope your Saturday is wonderful and blessed. Good night, good night, good night. And I'm going to shut her down. So I will see you guys real soon. Prayers, prayers, and prayers. That's all I got to say. Love you guys. Mwah, 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 mwah.